One of the most paradoxical consequences of the current crisis is that, by and large, citizens and people tend to blame the free market for it. Whenever there is a crisis, the politicians, the social leaders, even many of my colleagues do argue that the crisis shows that the market experienced a failure and that more regulation is needed. In fact, the reality is just the opposite. The financial system is very far from a free market, and we could just recapitulate a little bit how it has been built. First of all, money has been nationalized and expropriated to individuals and substituted by a purely fiduciary paper public money. Secondly, a central planning agency called Central Bank has been created in order to give support to bail out private bankers whenever they experience a crisis. And thirdly, a huge mess of administrative regulations are enacted by central banks. The legal tender laws have been enacted in order to force all individuals to accept the public fiduciary paper money legal payment. And even worse, the central bank tries to fine-tune the economy, injecting what they think is the optimal monetary supply needed in every moment. And even worse again, they fix the interest rate, which is a very important price that should be the most free price in a market, because it's the most important, the price of present goods instead in terms of future goods. So there is not a free market in the financial area. There is pure socialism directed by a central planning agency. And all the tenets of the theorem of the impossibility of socialism that was discovered by the Austrian economists Friedrich Hayek and Mises are fully applicable to the central bank. It is theoretically impossible that they are successful in their attempts to fine-tune the economy, precisely by one fundamental reason. It is impossible that they are able to get the specific information they need to give a coordinating nature to their commands, to their regulations. This is the heart of the argument of the theorem of the impossibility of socialism discovered by Mises and Hayek. And precisely for the same reasons that real socialism fall after the fall of the Berlin Wall, we are having exactly the same problems now in the fully regulated and nationalized financial system that, orchestrated by this central planning agency that we call central bank, is still affecting the world. So there is no way that in the future these financial crises and economic recessions are avoided whenever we keep the current fractional reserve banking system orchestrated by the instructions of the central bank. So these two institutions should disappear.